What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. And we got some Phillies news to talk about here. Dave Dombrowski in this offseason already doing so many things that we discussed, over the couple of past months ago, with Trey Turner and everything like that. Everything else with the bullpen signings, Craig Kimbrell and all that stuff. But, and also Taijuan Walker and everything like that. So the Phillies have done a lot of work, and surprisingly today, that I really was not expecting Dave Dombrowski to do anything in this type of realm. I thought maybe they would probably make some few minor signings here and there, maybe just, rely on in-house options, maybe they would make a minor trade or something like that. But no, they make a big trade for the bullpen to really bolster it up. They trade with the Detroit Tigers to get Gregory Soto, a left-handed flamethrower. Basically, you can describe him as basically Jose Alvarado 2.0. He's one of the, few left-hander relievers in baseball that throws gas, basically. Like I said, Jose Alvarado 2.0. And yeah, he's been an all-star for the past 2 years. He's got control, I think, until at least 2025, 2026. So you got him locked up for a while here now, and it really bolsters this bullpen for a lot of the other moves that you made. I know we really didn't talk about the Craig Kimbrell move much. You signed him to a cheap one-year prove-it type of deal, even though he's getting $10+ million. But overall, with the Craig Kimbrell deal, I'll discuss that more as we go along with this, discussion here, because I do have some thoughts on the Craig Kimbrell signing. I'm not saying it's going to be bad or anything like that, because Craig Kimbrell, he's definitely a respected name in baseball. He's definitely not nowhere close to the elite closer that he used to be in his time with the Braves, with the Padres, and all that stuff with the Red Sox. He's definitely, fallen off of a cliff a little bit here, even though he's still got some stuff left in the arsenal. It's that there's a lot of, I guess, other things to do with Craig Kimbrell that you have to probably work around and everything like that, because like I said, he's definitely not the same type of pitcher that he used to be. But you get a big bolster for this bullpen. You add Gregory Soto to this back end, and basically your bullpen, I would say, honestly, is 100 times better than it is last year. In the bullpen, especially, it stepped up in the late stages of the year, especially in the playoffs. Bullpen did some solid stuff there, and now you're adding a couple of more pieces. You added Strom, like right after you signed Taijuan Walker. You add him to the bullpen. You got Soto. You added Craig Kimbrell. So you added a lot of better pieces to this bullpen for sure, without a doubt. So yeah, it's basically just, I'd say this bullpen, like I said, it's 100 times better than it is last season. And I think this is a fantastic trade for the Phillies. And basically, let's just go over the bolster of this trade, because the Phillies did give up some young pieces, definitely, from their depth off the bench, basically, in this point. So looking at the entire thing, at first it was Jim Salisbury that was basically discussing breaking the news and all the reports and everything like there. And also with Jim Salisbury, it was, him discussing a couple of days ago that he's most likely stepping down from NBC Sports Philadelphia. And a couple of days ago when he says that, he breaks the rumor about the Phillies possibly trading for Gregory Soto from the Tigers. So the full trade gets broken by John Morosi. He says the Tigers and Phillies trade is agreed upon pending a medical review. Detroit acquires Nick Maton, Matt Vierling, and Donnie Sands in the Philadelphia Phillies to get Gregory Soto and Cody Clemens. Cody Clemens is the son of one of the best pitchers in baseball, Roger Clemens. But Cody Clemens overall, there's no bat there. He's basically just a depth piece for defensive replacements and all that stuff. He's basically a utility type of guy. He could play anywhere in the field. Honestly, he can say he is the Maton replacement just without the bat. He's more basically relied upon for his glove. He could play first, second, third, shortstop, outfield, whenever you basically need him to be. That's all he is for a glove. Also, maybe you can use him for a pitcher, because he did strike out Shohei Ohtani last season. So maybe there is a pitching option there for Cody Clemens, maybe taking up some stuff from his father back in the day. But overall, I think this is a very, very good trade for this Phillies squad, for this bullpen, just to continue where they're going at for next season. And right now, you're thinking to yourselves, you got to the World Series last year. You definitely exceeded a lot of expectations, but you're not standing still. You're not just, let's run it back with the same roster and do it again. Run it back with the same personnel and everything like that. No, you're going out there, you're making moves to try to win the division. You're trying, because basically the division is going to come down to basically a 100+ win team. The Braves and the Mets, they both won 100-plus games last year. The Braves ended up winning the division after the Mets got into a little bit of slump at the end of September. But still, two 100-plus win teams in the top of the NL East, and the Phillies were only around like the 87, 88, 89 win mark. That's a long gap to, come up between, that gap between you, the Braves, and the Mets. But the moves that you're making this offseason, you go out, you get one of the best shortstop in Major League Baseball, Trey Turner, a guy that can really solidify the lineup, basically, to make it even stronger than it already is. You go out and get Taijuan Walker, very solid pitcher in this league, can be a very reliable 3rd, 4th, 5th type of starter that you desperately need, and you add to that rotation of Zack Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez, and then whatever you're going to decide for your 5th starter in the rotation, whether that's going to be an Andrew Painter coming up out of spring training or a Griff McGarry or something like that. So there's definitely, or even a Bailey Falter. So you got some options there, but you did add to that depth in the rotation, which you desperately needed. And you also went out there, like Dave Dombrowski said he was going to do, and go out and get some bullpen pieces. You got Strom, you got Craig Kimbrell, and now you got a guy like a Gregory Soto who you have locked up for a good amount of time here under his contract when you got his player control. So that's a really good thing to see right there from what Dave Dombrowski is doing. It's just, man, feels nice. It definitely feels nice overall. So let's go to Gregory Soto just to look at everything right here, just to see like what he has been. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's made the All-Star game the past 2 seasons for the Detroit Tigers, last year and in 2021. And just looking at his career overall, his career numbers, he's 8-20, but that's also win-loss record really doesn't matter because he was playing on a very bad Detroit Tigers team. He's got a career 4.13 ERA. He's pitched 204 innings in his career, has a career whip of 1.4. Overall, if you look at his numbers, just basically as the years go along, they do get a little bit better. His first year definitely was a struggle. This rookie season had a 5.77 ERA, but then it gets drastically better in 2020, even though that was a shortened season still, 4.3 ERA. Then 2021, it goes down to a 3.39. And then this year, even though it definitely wasn't his best year, win-loss wise, because he was 2-11 for the Tigers, he was 6-3 in 2021. This year, his ERA was 3.28. He pitched in 64 games. He saved 30 of them, so basically he was the Tigers' closer, I would assume at this point. Looking overall, his whip, it was a 1.37, so that's very solid. His FIP was really good, a 3.59. Look, what else? His strikeouts per 9 was around 9, so that definitely went down than it was than the previous couple of seasons. He does have a walk issue, basically the same thing like Jose Alvarado. I think the one thing that he did struggle with last year was getting swings and misses, which is why his strikeouts per 9 is like a whole point lower than it has been in its previous years. 2020, his strikeouts per 9 were 11.3. Last year was a 10.7. It goes down basically at a 1.7 tick. So that's probably basically the one thing that he struggled with last year. And his walks for 9, definitely that's an issue. 5.1 to 5.7, 5.1, 5.2. That's definitely going to be one of the issues with a guy like Gregory Soto. If you look at his scouting report, it's basically the same exact thing as Jose Alvarado. He's a flamethrower that can't control the strike zone. That's basically the same exact thing. So look at what the Phillies did last year with Jose Alvarado. He came into the season last year, struggled right out of the gate, struggled for the first few months. They send him down to AAA to work on some things. He comes up, he develops a cutter, and becomes one of the best pitchers in best left-handed relievers in Major League Baseball. And was a really useful guy down the stretch for the Phillies. Pitched some very important innings, got us out of some very important situations, especially in the playoffs. Even though he did give up that huge home run to, Yordan Alvarez in Game 6 of the World Series, I do think at the end of the day, Jose Alvarado kind of got gassed from the usage that, he definitely wasn't used to being in. That was probably, the biggest usage that he's basically been in his entire career. And I think he'll be better suited going into next season. But basically what Caleb Cotham, the Phillies pitching development and everything like that, everything that's basically been transformed thanks to Dave Dombrowski, they basically transform Jose Alvarado into a completely different type of pitcher. Yeah, you're still going to see those situations where he struggles to throw the fastball, struggles to locate it, but with that nasty cutter, and when he's able to throw gas and everything, that slider is nasty as well. Gregory Soto also has a very nasty slider as well. He could throw gas, throw that nasty slider, and honestly, I would not be surprised if his cutter usage goes up a little bit more with this Phillies, system, because we do see a lot of pitchers that come into this Phillies team and they develop a cutter. They use a cutter a lot more. That's one of their, best arsenal of pitches coming out of the bullpen. So I would not be surprised if Gregory Soto were to develop some type of cutter coming into Philadelphia and coming out of that bullpen consistently. So I'd be very excited to see that overall. And in terms of what the Phillies gave up to get him, it's fine. It's solid. Overall, I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, why'd you give up Maton? Why'd you give up Vierling, the daycare, and all that stuff? Matt Vierling, I was like, no, car shield, no, the memes. I'm definitely going to miss the memes, but it's what you got to give up. Those guys that are useful depth, and they proved it to last year. Maton, in his short sample size of his major league career, has been a really solid baseball player. Very solid at the plate, very solid with the glove. Matt Vierling, he's more of an athletic type of guy, more reliable for his defense than it is his bats, but he showed some stuff last year. He definitely was involved in helping breaking Josh Hader when the Phillies came back against the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. Him and Alec Boehm hitting back-to-back home runs. Well, was it back-to-back? I honestly don't remember. It was that long ago. But overall, they proved to be some very solid depth. And for the Phillies coming into this year, those guys were definitely not going to get much playing time. So you trade them over to a team like Detroit Tigers, who are still trying to find their stride, and it's a chance for those two to get some more playing time, and playing time that they definitely do deserve. Maton's going to get a lot more playing time. Vierling's going to get a lot more playing time. So that's definitely something that's good for those guys, and good luck to them. They were definitely some useful pieces for that 2021-2022 Phillies squad. Definitely a big part of the daycare. They came up with some big moments, but overall, it's a good trade. Those are what those type of pieces couldn't get you. They showcase that they could be some good depth, and maybe they can showcase that they can play at this major league level and maybe deserve a little bit of, starting time that they weren't going to give the Phillies. You trade him to another team that's willing to sell a piece off. And Gregory Soto was definitely something that was big that they were trying to move the Detroit Tigers. I think especially at the trade deadline, they just weren't able to get the price that they wanted. This is a really good trade for this Phillies team. Definitely. Now, does that hurt their depth a little bit on the bench? Probably does. It definitely does, I would say. But I trust Dave Dombrowski to make some moves. Most likely, maybe they do go sign another bench piece. Honestly, if I'm looking at the entire thing, it kind of does scream Adam Duvall makes way too much sense for this team. But I'm not sure if Dave Dombrowski is going to do that. But I trust this guy with my life to make the right moves and everything for this team. So I am not worried in the slightest at all. So I'm definitely not worried for that standpoint. But hey, you got yourself another useful arm for this bullpen. That's basically the most important thing. And looking at this entire bullpen right now, just with the way that everything is set up, I just want to see what the entire bullpen is going to be set up like right now. So let me see if everything here, let me see. So I can just see what everything is with this bullpen right now. I had this up. I don't know why I don't have it up anymore. It completely disappeared from me. Don't judge me. Don't hate me that I'm not prepared for this crap. But hey, it happens. Oh, here we go. So you got Craig Kimbrell, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jose Alvarado, Soto, Strahm, Brogdon, Bilotti, and you throw Nick Nelson into that mix. You got yourself a very solid bullpen. Bullpen that's even better than last year. I would say 100 times better than last year. Especially adding a guy like a Soto, like a Strahm. You can even argue Craig Kimbrell. Definitely makes this bullpen much better than it was last year. And like I said, the bullpen came up in some huge spots last season. Bilotti definitely showcased himself as being a reliable guy in there. Brogdon had his moments, but then he also had his really bad moments. Hopefully he can learn from the good moments more than the bad. Strahm, he showcased himself more in Boston last year, so he can definitely be a good piece for that middle relief role. Who else? Jose Alvarado, Sir Anthony Dominguez. We all know what they are at this point. They're really good guys for the back end of the bullpen. Same thing with Craig Kimbrell is most likely going to be. Not sure. I would assume the Phillies are still going to go with that closer by committee type of thing, and I think Craig Kimbrell completely understands that, but he would still like to be in situations where he does close games. He still has that 95 to 97 mile an hour fastball. He's going to be a guy that's used in the 8th and 9th inning, so that's definitely what's expected from that. He's, like I said, he's not the same Craig Kimbrell as he used to be, but I think he could still be reliable. Hopefully. That's me being hopeful there, because there have been situations where Craig Kimbrell has not been good, especially when he got traded to the Chicago White Sox from the Cubs. It wasn't that good. And when he was with the Dodgers, he had his good moments, and he also had his really bad moments. So basically, that's what you're going to be expecting from a guy like a Craig Kimbrell. So That's it for the bullpen. Your lineup set, even though Bryce Harper, I know he's going to be missing half the season. Got Trey Turner. You got this fantastic lineup. Pitching staff is definitely much improved, adding Taijuan Walker. I think you're set right now, even though I do expect Dave Dombrowski to make some minor moves. I think there was, like, press conference after the whole trade and everything like today. Maybe they'll make some minor moves or maybe minor trades or do stuff that's in-house because you still got guys like Dalton Guthrie and everything like that just showcased himself last year. So maybe you can bolster your depth on the bench with maybe some in-house options. So there's definitely some options right there for you. Like I said, I do think Adam Duvall makes a little too much sense for this team, especially like it ties to everything with Bryce Harper being out for that half of the season with the Tommy John surgery. You bring in Adam Duvall, he could play in every outfield spot, so you can definitely utilize, switching the DH spot here and there with, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos. So you get Adam Duvall sometimes out there in the outfield while, Schwarber and Castellanos split time with the DH and everything like that. Even same thing with Brandon Marsh or anything like that. Or if there's a day where you're facing a lefty on the mound, you can use Adam Duvall out in center field and Brandon Marsh get the day off. So there's definitely some options there. So there's a lot of things that you got to think about. So it's definitely going to be an intriguing time for this Phillies team. And they're making moves to try, better themselves to win the division. It's not just about getting into that wild card spot and seeing what you do from there. It worked out for you last season. You went on a magical run. Sadly, didn't end the way you wanted to, even though that's a run that all of us in Philadelphia are going to remember forever. Dave Dombrowski's out here making moves to make sure this Phillies team could have more runs in them. Because they got a lot of guys in their prime. They got a lot of young talent on this roster as well. He's trying to make moves to help this team get back to that, Fall Classic and win it. And he's trying to make moves to help this team win the division. Because, honestly, I think this team needs to win the division too. I would love to see this team battle with the Mets and the Braves for first place in the NL East, winning that NL East crown. Last time the Phillies won one of those was 2011. So, you broke the curse of breaking that playoff drought last year. You got to the World Series. Now go out there, win an NL East, and continue doing what you're doing in the playoffs. Got a lot of work here to do, but it's great moves. It's great moves, though. I love what Dave Dombrowski is doing. I trust him with my life. Trust him with my whole life. Everything that he's doing. And imagine if Andrew Painter comes here, if he's the guy that's called up for the 5th spot in the rotation, and he proves himself to be one of the next best young pitchers in Major League Baseball. That'll be fantastic. That'll be absolutely like the icing on the cake to start the 2023 season. It still feels weird saying 2023. Still not used to it yet. It's only January 7th, the start of the new year. Still not used to saying that whatsoever, but we'll get used to it. We'll definitely get used to it here. But yeah, fun times. Fun times. Definitely was not expecting that from Dave Dombrowski today. But hey, he continues to make those moves to help this Phillies team out. Definitely does. And what else with Major League Baseball? I know the whole situation with Carlos Correa and the New York Mets. It's getting spicy. It's definitely getting spicy. I got some stuff that I can't say right now. Got some inside stuff that I can't say right now. I gotta wait till it happens. People. Can't say anything right now, but it's juicy. It is very juicy in the world of Carlos Correa and the New York Mets. Because a lot of reports are talking about how the Mets are getting very frustrated with, Scott Boras and everything like that. I wonder what it's going to do. Is Carlos Correa going to get withdrawn from the New York Mets? Is he going to go somewhere else? We'll just wait and see. We'll definitely just wait and see. But it's juicy. It definitely is. I'm trying to think of it like what other big were there any other true big signings lately? Honestly, not. Not even gigantic trades either. So baseball, it's been quiet for a little bit, honestly. I think it's really just everyone's waiting to see what happens with Carlos Correa. I think that's what everyone is waiting for right now. I think you'll probably be hearing something in the near future, maybe soon. Not sure when, but it's going to be soon. Definitely is. Can't tell you, but it's going to be juicy when you find out. My goodness. My goodness. This Dave Dombrowski, I love the guy. I love the guy. Love it. Love it. Trust him with my life. I love everything that he's doing for this Phillies team. Bolsters the bullpen. Goes out and gets an best shortstop in baseball, Trey Turner. Continues to add to the squad. It's a battle for the division. It's a battle for the division. Mets, Braves, and Phillies. Ooh. Ooh. Do not tempt me with a good time. Don't tempt me at all. It's going to be a fun year, and I can't wait. When do catchers and pitchers report again? I got to search that up. When do pitchers and catchers report? February 19th. February 19th, everyone. We're almost basically a little over a month away from that. February 19th. That is a Sunday. We are basically a few weeks away. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 weeks away. Basically 7 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training. But there's still a lot of other things to worry about here in the land of Philadelphia. Eagles finally trying to lock up the goddamn number 1 seed in the NFC East tomorrow. They better do it. I expect them to, but you never know. I expect them to do it tomorrow, but you never know. I do, but you never know. What else? Flyers are still Flyers, even though the Flyers are on a 4-game win streak. Still the Flyers. Watching the World Juniors and everything like that. Love Cutter Gauthier. Do I expect us to win the draft lottery? No, I don't expect the Flyers to get Connor Bedard. That's just where I'm at. Sixers. They go on a win streak. What, they won like 11 out of the last 14. Fans are still pissed off at them. Even though I have been lacking on the Sixers recaps. Because I'm kind of at the point where regular season doesn't matter to me. It's playoffs. Basically all that stuff. Once you get towards the second half of the season, that's probably when you'll see more of the Sixers recaps and everything. Because right now you're getting into a lot of situations. You know, James Harden's out. Tyrese Maxey was out for a little bit of time. Joel Embiid misses a few games. Basically all that stuff. Sixers recaps will happen eventually. I apologize for the slack of that. I definitely do. I tend to get lazy on that part, but they'll be back. Definitely don't worry about that. Maybe when we start washing out with the Eagles and everything there, we'll start getting focused on the Sixers. But it's everything there. In due time. In due time, everyone. We do have a voicemail here that we just got here from Sean Fitzpatrick, and you can leave a voicemail or a text message at 215-839-9885 if you want to share your thoughts on basically any stream that we do. Leave a text message, leave a voicemail. It can appear on the stream. Share your thoughts and everything like that on whatever the topic's going to be. And if you do end up leaving anything, definitely share your name and everything like that, so I can save that contact for your future use. Definitely is a utilize option. You got the YouTube feed. Basically, I'm giving you options at this point, it's your preference. So, without further ado, let's get to Sean. Let's see what he has to say on the Phillies acquiring Gregory Soto.
All right, here's my breakdown of this trade. I mean, I think for the Phillies, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it does worry me that the pitcher, though he has a live arm, is wild. Kind of sounds like another Alvarado 2.0, but in today's MLB, you have to have a strong bullpen from top to bottom, and you've got to have a bunch of power arms. It's truly an arms race. I was never a big Matt Vierling guy. I hated to see Nick Maton go, though. I thought he had some spark and juice coming off the bench, but it does open up a dynamic as far as now the Phillies have to add another outfielder off the bench, you would think. Adam Duvall is a guy that makes a lot of sense to me. And we talked about this on Twitter, Amadeo. Brian Anderson can do different things, can play you some infield and outfield, And he's like Ted Williams when he plays the Phillies. They can't get that guy out. So I wouldn't mind bringing him over either. But I think it's a good move by Dombrowski. Like I said, you have to have a deep pen. You have to have a bunch of power arms. And you have to try to shorten the game as much as you can.
I hear you there, Sean, definitely. Like, I could see, like, why some people would worry about having a Jose Alvarado 2.0. But what I look at what the Phillies did, and basically what Caleb Cotham did and all that stuff with the pitching staff when they send Jose Alvarado down to AAA, came up, he was a different pitcher completely. I trust, if you manage to change Jose Alvarado from a complete wild card to one of the best relievers in Major League Baseball, I trust you could bring any pitcher into the system right now with the way it's working. And basically, Soto with basically the same tendencies as Alvarado, I think you could fix him too. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited for what this Phillies team has to offer. Like I said, I do expect him to make some other moves. Like you said, Adam Duvall makes perfect sense for this team. Even, yeah, I want to see what other outfield free agents are left. So let me look at that. It'll be free agents that are left. For the outfield. Well, we got a spot track. See what the other guys that are left. Outfielders, update, status is available. Look at the available guys. Let's see. AJ Pollock is available. Adam Duvall would be available as well. Tommy Pham, Tommy Pham, not really. Who else? Cole Calhoun, Corey Dickerson. Who else? Kevin Pillar. I feel like his time is done. There's really not that much out there. I would really expect it to line up like an Adam Duvall, AJ Pollock, or something like that. Even though Spot Track, AJ Pollock's market value says he's around $12 million. I don't think the Phillies are going to spend $12 million for that. Adam Duvall, it says he's around like $7 million. Maybe you stretch it to that, but maybe you could take him on a team-friendly deal. Not entirely sure on that situation, but overall, like I said, I trust Dave Dombrowski with my life. Like, I'm not worried about anything in that aspect. So, there's really not that much to it. Basically, waiting for the season. If the Phillies make any more minor moves, like they signed some guys to minor league contracts and all that stuff. So I'm not really worried about that aspect. I think right now the team's like fully set to where they wanted to be. Basically, you're going to be starting the season. You're not going to have Bryce Harper for half a year, but you're going to have Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Rhys Hoskins, Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos. Hopefully he has a bounce back here. Definitely going to need it. All your bullpen guys, starting rotation. It's going to be shaping up. Maybe they're building something special here. Maybe they are. Rob Thompson getting a full season under his belt now this year. See what he's more capable of. Loved a lot of Rob Thompson last season in the interim position, but now he gets his first full crack of being a full season manager. Let's see what he does there. See what he does. But I can't wait for it overall. Can't wait for it. I keep if you guys keep seeing me like scratching my arm right here, it's the fact because we got a new kitten in the house, and it's not like she does it maliciously because she's just playing because she's a kitten. Like she leaves scratches all over your body. So I got a scratch right here on my wrist. It's irritating right now. It's very itchy. And then I got a couple of cuts on my legs, my other leg, like my thigh and everything like that. It's just like, because when she tries to like jump, like she'll claw on you to get her grip. Because we're not getting her declawed or anything like that. Like we got her nails trimmed at the vet. So they're definitely not as sharp, but it's her back claws. When she tries to jump on you, she'll dig them into your leg, and it hurts like hell. Like it hurts. So that's why I'm basically like scratching my arm, because like when you carry her, she like gets all, I don't know, I'm going completely off topic here. It's just the fact that my goddamn wrist is irritating me from it, because she just scratched me like a little bit before I started the stream when I was carrying her. I was like, come on. But still, I love her. Young kitten, young animals. Definitely a little bit of work. But hey, about life. And you know what I care about more? I don't know what I'm trying to tie this into the Phillies. It's very, very terrible transition. But we're going to make it work, damn it. But yeah. It's going to be a very fun year this year. I can already tell. I'm just feeling it. Me and my cousin were doing a season ticket plan. Can't wait to go to more Phillies games at the bank this year. Can't wait to see everything. Trey Turner in person. I'm definitely going to get myself a Trey Turner jersey. Way too many Phillies jerseys. Way too many jerseys in general. Continuing to add to my NHL jersey collection. Way too many jerseys in my closet. But still, going to be adding to that Trey Turner stuff. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. Here's the thing. What Trey Turner jersey do I get? Do I go with the pinstripes? Do I go with the gray, the cream, the powder blue? A lot of decisions. A lot of decisions here. And I'm just constantly looking at Twitter just to see if there's anything here. I don't think there's anything that's going to be happening anytime soon. Like I said, with this Carlos Correa stuff, can't really say anything much on it. But just wait. Just wait. I trust my guy. I trust my guy that shares the info. Can't say anything here because I don't want to rat him out. But you guys are just going to have to wait and see when it happens. Going to be a lot of juicy stuff. So before we end it off here, everyone, see what's going on here in the live feed. Channel name, haven't talked to you in a little bit, buddy. Wishing the Vierling and Maton the best. Yeah, there were a lot of Phillies fans that were just like, oh, why are you trading these guys? Like, why are you getting rid of Vierling? Why are you getting rid of Maton? You got to do what you got to do. I salute those two. Wishing the best of luck, basically. Mighty Mouse says, like the move, but it leaves them a tad thin in the outfield. Going to need to bring someone in via free agency. I do think they're going to be doing something probably via minor free agency or maybe something in-house, most likely. I do think Adam Duvall makes a little too much sense for this team, but I'm not sure. We got to wait till what Dave Dombrowski does. Wait, what Dave Dombrowski does? That doesn't make fucking sense. What Dave Dombrowski does. God, can't talk. What's up, BJ? How are you doing, my guy? I think you guys have the best chance to win the division this year. Let the best team win. I definitely agree on that standpoint. Definitely agree there, BJ. Jose Perez, here we are, January 7th, 2023, and the Carlos Correa soap opera continues. It's going to continue, my guy. It's going to continue. Don't worry about it. It's going to completely continue. Like I said, the juicy details that I know. Just got to wait and see. Going to have to wait and see until some news breaks. It's going to happen soon, though. Not saying it's going to happen tonight. It's going to happen soon, though. Definitely very soon. My God. My God, what in the world we live in? I hope the Mets don't get him so we can laugh at them even more. Oh, don't worry, Mr. W. Don't worry. Juicy details. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. My God. My God. But yeah, I think that's where we stand at this point. Dave Dombrowski is a god. I trust him with my life. And watch as I end this stream. You're probably going to hear stuff about Carlos Correa. But the sacrifices we make. So I thank you, everyone, for joining the stream tonight. Phillies acquire Gregory, Soto, and they make their bullpen 100 times better. See, can't wait for pitchers and catchers to report. We're basically a little over a month away. And let's kick it in high gear, boys. Got Eagles tomorrow. Chance to clinch the #1 seed in the division. You'll have the recap definitely after that game tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that. But thank you for joining tonight's stream. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lines, BrodesMedia. I recommend all that stuff. Same thing with hitting the subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. Join the TTP Sports family. Also, use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Use it for anything you can think of. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining tonight. And I